Hey YouTube friends, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to give you my review of 1,000 Trails Pio Pico. Find out the upside, the downside, and why I probably won't be going back to this park. Can't wait to show you around and get into my review. Let's get into it. 1,000 Trails Pio Pico is about an hour outside San Diego. The interesting thing about this park is it's actually divided by a highway. Literally, a highway runs through it. There's the north side and the south side, and let me tell you, that's not only divided by a highway, it's divided by a vortex separating two different worlds. Because if you get stuck on the north side like me, you're probably going to feel less like you're in a resort and more like you're in a dirt parking lot. This is one step above a homeless encampment. However, before I take you into the north side, let me show you the south side, because the south side is actually really lovely. First thing I'm going to show you is the sights. One nice feature of Pio Pico is the large sites. From the flyover, you can tell that the sites aren't crowded, and you can get fairly large rigs into each site. There's also a nice mixture of pull-through and back-end sites. I thought this was a nice angle because you could see how much space there was between each site and each rig. Nothing feels crowded. This is some of the larger rigs, and this section is pull-throughs. As you can tell from looking around, these are all fairly large trailers and they fit quite comfortably in the sites without anything feeling too cramped. That's one of the best features of this campground. Here's section H where I was. This half of the campground has no amenities, no sewer, and here's my site. It might have been one of the best sites because that tree provided privacy and I was close to the restrooms. Overall though, I still didn't like my site and I didn't like this area because it felt isolated and more like a dirt parking lot than an actual resort. Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop me a line in the comments. Let me know your favorite 1,000 Trails or Trails Collection park in the state of California so I can be sure to visit. On with the video. The one thing I will say about this park is it had great amenities. Multiple pools, basketball court, baseball field, horseshoes, a garden, multiple activity centers. Let me show you around. If there was one thing I liked about this campground was the amenities. This was the main activity center that had 2 pools, mini golf, the playground. It was the hub of activity. Looking at the pools from above, you can tell that they were a nice size and appeared fairly delightful. The pool area itself was nice with good views and appeared to be a wonderful place to relax. This pool area had 2 pools as well as hot tubs. There's an additional pool area that I'll show you in a minute. The hot tubs looked inviting, and as far as I could tell, the water was actually pretty warm. There were other amenities as well. This was the RC car track, which I've now seen at multiple campgrounds, but have yet to see anybody actually racing RC cars. The area is large enough that it had its own baseball field and open field, as well as more typical campground amenities such as horseshoes, shuffleboard, and cornhole. This was closer to the second activity center, but you get the point. You have plenty of opportunities to engage in your typical campground activity. The playground was nice and large, although quite frankly, I just didn't see that many kids at this park. There were some, but not as many as I've seen at other parks and not a lot that were playing. There were lots of sports courts. Here you can see the combination tennis courts and basketball courts. They actually have tennis nets that you can wheel out if you're into tennis. This is the second activity center and secondary pool. There are actually 3 activity centers on site. This one was closed when I was there, but it would be nice to have in a city where lots of people are using the park. This is inside one of the activity centers. As you can see, you've got pool, ping pong, and foosball, as well as opportunities to watch TV and watch movies. There were games for kids and other things in the activity center, and plenty of room for activities. The other activity center had a nice billiard area, but it was locked when I was there and I didn't get the key to get in. Overall, this is an amenity-rich campground with lots of things to do and lots of opportunities for recreation, and the amenities are in good shape, which is great. Hey, one thing, while I'm absolutely realistic about my 1,000 Trails membership, I absolutely still love it. Most of the time, my camping cost works out to be about $10 a night. That's pretty amazing, and it allows me to tour this country and see some amazing things guilt-free. If you think you may be interested in winning 1,000 Trails and getting a 1,000 Trails membership, please use my exclusive referral link in the comments. Often we can save you hundreds of dollars off the 1,000 Trails website price. Moreover, you'll get to talk to a membership specialist I trust at no obligation to you and perfectly free. It'll help you pick out the perfect membership for you of the many options available. Use my referral link in the comments. It benefits the channel, can save you hundreds of dollars. On with the video. While I didn't do any laundry at the park because I didn't have a sewer hookup, I did actually use the public bathrooms quite a bit. They were always clean and well maintained. The laundry appeared to be clean and again well maintained. Let me show you those. The bathhouses were plentiful throughout the campground, and in my section that was critical because there was no sewer service and the honey wagon was $40 for regular service, $80 for emergency. I showered every day and found the bathhouses to be in good shape and they were cleaned regularly. The showers were nice, the water was hot, and there were sufficient bathhouses. There was never a line. I saw housekeeping multiple times a day. The laundry was huge, with many machines. It does use the Wash app, which I have an absolute hate for, but the day I was there was only one person doing their laundry, and as you can tell, there are plenty of washing machines and plenty of dryers. The laundry appeared clean, and that goes and is consistent with how the rest of the campground was treated. Everything was in good working order and clean. That's with the upside of this campground that I can see. And if you do laundry, there's plenty of machines to do it in. One nice thing about this park is it had a great camp store. I got this delicious pizza. It was actually a really enjoyable pizza and nice to have on-site hot food. The camp store was incredibly well stocked for a camp store. It was more like a convenience store, which makes sense because as we will get to in the review, this park is in the middle of nowhere. I think of the park overall, well, I gotta tell you, as I said earlier, it's in the middle of nowhere. That's a bit of a problem because if you're planning on doing most of the tourist destinations, you're an hour outside of them. Now, you're about 15-20 minutes from a grocery store, don't get me wrong. There is a suburban community not far from the park. However, if you're like me touring the country and want to see, say, the USS Midway, which is the major tourist attraction in San Diego, or one of them, you're an hour outside that. Want to go to La Jolla? Over an hour. Want to go see the San Diego Zoo? Perfectly reasonable. I love the San Diego Zoo. It's a full day. It's an awesome day, but it's an hour. Want to go see Coronado Island? An hour. Basically, any and everything you want to do is an hour away. And so you do feel isolated. Overall, my biggest problem with this park was frankly the people. And I hate to say that because it sounds judgmental, and I'm not trying to be. But I felt like I was in a borderline homeless encampment, and that's not what I feel like I pay for with Thousand Trails. But the folks that were living there were living there, and they would go for a week out, park right up the road, and come back for their weekend. Some of these campers didn't have slides that worked, so you'd see them driving around with their slides out deployed. Now, at first, I was a little sketched out by that, and I was honestly questioning whether it was safe. I'm now convinced it is actually a fairly safe campground, but it's not what I'm looking for in a Thousand Trails park. Overall, I gotta say, this was a one and done park for me. It's simply not close enough to anything I want to do or see. I didn't get the warm and fuzzies staying here. I didn't enjoy the amenities. It just wasn't my cup of tea. There were some other people that loved this park. I've met two of them and talked to them. They love the amenities. They actually love the area. And they didn't feel the same sense that I did about some of the people that were around me. So I don't want to dissuade you from coming here. I'm simply being realistic. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop me that line in the comments. Please let me know your favorite Thousand Trails park in the state of California so I can make sure to visit. Thanks for watching. Take care.